The Adventures of Tintin, The Lost Treasure. Adapted by Paul Shipton. Based on The Adventures of Tintin, the chapter book by Stephanie Peters. Screenplay by Stephen Moffat and Edgar Wright and Joe Cornish. Based on The Adventures of Tintin series by Hergé.
Track 1.
Meet everyone from The Adventures of Tintin. This is Tintin. He loves to look for clues. He finds a new clue inside a model of a ship. He wants to know more. Snowy the dog is Tintin's best friend. He loves to help Tintin. Captain Haddock loves the sea. Tintin meets him on his ship, the Caraboujan. Now, Tintin has to help his new friend. Sir Francis Haddock lived a long time ago. His ship, the Unicorn, went down to the bottom of the sea with all Sir Francis Haddock's treasure. After this, Sir Francis made 3 models of his old ship. Ivan Sakharin wants to find the 3 models of the Unicorn because he wants Sir Francis Haddock's treasure, and nothing is going to stop him. Before you read, what do you think? Is Sakharin going to find the treasure?
Track 3.
The Adventures of Tintin, The Lost Treasure. Chapter 1. The Unicorn. Tintin and his dog Snowy were in the town. Tintin saw a beautiful model of a ship. "I'm going to buy that," he thought. He gave the money to the man, and soon he had the ship in his hands. "Its name is the Unicorn," he said to Snowy. "The Unicorn?" said a man behind Tintin. "I would like to buy that model." "Why?" asked Tintin. "I am Ivan Sakharin," said the tall man. "A long time ago, Sir Francis Haddock made 3 models of his ship, the Unicorn. I have one, and I want to give them all back to a Haddock now." But Tintin did not like Sakharin. "Sorry, you can't buy it," he said. He walked home with the ship. At home, Tintin put the ship on a table. Suddenly, a cat jumped inside the room. Snowy ran after it and... "Snowy!" cried Tintin. "You broke the ship!" Then he saw something inside it. An old scroll. It said something about 3 unicorns and the light of the sun. "I don't understand," thought Tintin. "And what's this at the bottom? I can't read it." Suddenly, some men were outside with a big box. "This is for you," one man said to Tintin. "What's in it?" asked Tintin. You are going to be in it, said the other man. The men put Tintin in the box and took him away.
Track 4.
Chapter 2. At Sea. Where am I? Thought Tintin. There were ropes around Tintin's hands and feet. You are on my ship, the Karabujan, said a man. It was Sakharin. Where is the scroll from your model ship? He asked. I don't know, said Tintin. Sakharin was angry. I am going to find it, he said. And I am going to find the third scroll too. Sakharin walked out of the room. Tintin was alone in this horrible dark place. Or was he? Snowy, said Tintin happily. The dog was on the ship too. He helped Tintin with the ropes. Thanks, Snowy, said Tintin. He looked around the room. I can't use the door, he thought. Where can I go? Then he looked outside. I can use the rope, he said. Tintin started to throw the rope outside. Come on, Snowy, he said. Tintin and Snowy went outside on the rope. Soon, Tintin and Snowy were in a new, dark room. Who are you? Said a man. I'm Tintin. Who are you? I'm Captain Haddock. This is my ship, the man said angrily. Sakharin and his men put me in here and closed the door. Tintin went to the door and opened it. Oh, said Haddock. It's open. They started to walk through the Karabujan. We have to get off this ship, Tintin said quietly. Do you have any ideas? There's a small boat, Haddock answered. We can use that. Tintin could hear something from behind a door. That's the radio room, said Tintin. You and Snowy go to the boat. I want to look in here. Inside, Tintin found some paper next to the radio. The Milanese singer has the third scroll in Baghar. A clue! The third model ship is in the town of Baghar, thought Tintin. But who is the Milanese singer? He ran to find his friends.
Track 5.
Chapter 3. Boats and Seaplanes. The small boat started to move away from the Karabujan. How are we going to stop Sakharin? Asked Tintin. We're in the middle of the sea. Suddenly, he could hear something. A seaplane. "Sakharin's men are looking for us," he said. The seaplane came down and waited on the water near their boat. "I have to do something fast," thought Tintin. He jumped into the sea and went under the water to the seaplane. He came up behind Sakharin's men and shouted, "Put your hands up!" The two men were frightened. Now, Tintin, Haddock, and Snowy had a seaplane. "Can you fly a seaplane?" Haddock asked. "I think I can," Tintin answered. Soon, they were far above the sea. This was better than the boat. Then, Captain Haddock saw the terrible rain and wind. Soon, they were in the middle of it. "I can't fly through this," shouted Tintin. The seaplane was not above the sea now. "I'm taking us down," Tintin shouted. It was not easy, but soon they were out of the seaplane. Tintin looked at the seaplane. "This is never going to fly again," he said. They looked around. "Where are we?" asked Haddock. Tintin knew. They were in the Sahara Desert.
Track 6.
Chapter 4. The Singer from Milan. "Baghar is next to the sea, near the Sahara," said Tintin. "We have to go there and stop Sakharin." "How far away is Baghar?" asked Haddock. "The Sahara is a big place." "We're going to find out," said Tintin. "Come on." It was very hot, but the three friends did not stop. "I can see Baghar," said Tintin. "How are we going to find Sakharin and the third model?" They learned the answer in the town. "A famous singer from Milan is going to sing in Baghar today," said Tintin. "She's the Milanese singer. The radio clue was about her. She works for Sakharin." Many people from the town waited to hear the famous singer from Milan. Tintin and Haddock waited too. "Look," said Tintin. "There's the third ship in a big glass box." Soon, the singer started to sing. Suddenly, Tintin heard something. Crash! "The singer can break glass," he shouted. "She's breaking the glass box."
Track 7.
Chapter 5. Francis Haddock's Treasure. There was glass everywhere. The people from the town started to run and shout. Tintin saw a tall man in the middle of it all. Sakharin. He had the third model ship in his hands. "Quick!" Tintin shouted. "He's running for the door!" Outside, Sakharin jumped into a car. "Sakharin has the 3 scrolls now," thought Tintin. "How can we stop him?" Then he saw a motorbike. "Jump in," he said to Snowy and Haddock. Sakharin's car was fast, but the motorbike was faster. Soon they were very close to the car. Tintin used some rope and jumped over to the car. He quickly took the scrolls from Sakharin and jumped again. Now Tintin had the 3 scrolls. With the sun behind them, Tintin could read the clue at the bottom. They were numbers. The numbers were for a place on a map. "I know that place," said Captain Haddock. "It's Marlinspike Hall, the old home of the Haddocks." "We have to fly home," said Tintin. The next day the 3 friends went by car to Marlinspike Hall. "I was here a long time ago," said Haddock. It was dark inside the house. Suddenly, "I can hear Snowy!" Tintin ran to find his friend. "Look, it's another room," said Tintin. Inside the new room was the treasure. "There's a scroll here, too," said Tintin. "It's got some new map numbers." The numbers were for Sir Francis Haddock's ship, the Unicorn. Tintin and Haddock smiled. "Let's go!" they shouted.
Track 8.
Real world. The Sahara Desert. In The Adventures of Tintin, Tintin, Snowy, and Captain Haddock are in the Sahara Desert. Let's find out more about this very big desert. A big place. The Sahara Desert in North Africa is very big, bigger than Europe. It is 4,800 kilometers from the Atlantic Ocean to the Red Sea, and it is 1,600 kilometers from top to bottom. Did you know? Only 25% of the desert is sand. There are also mountains, rocky places, and some greener places with water. Desert animals. Life in the Sahara is hard, but some animals can live there. Camels can live for days with no water. Their big feet help them to walk on the sand. Many animals in the desert are the color of sand, so other animals cannot see them. This snake goes under the sand in the day. It eats at night, when it is not very hot. Would you like to go to the Sahara Desert? Why? Why not?